Welcome to my super white room for talking. It's quite bright, isn't it? Look, I just wanted to interrupt your daily viewing of the interwebs to speak a little bit about my observations of the where our current spiritualism movement is right now. Obviously, issued everyone's that is involved. But I'm finding an argument for, is there a certain layer of isolation that we're creating with the greater, as yet uneducated, undiagnosed for growth humanity out there? I mean, we're trying to get us all involved here, and yet I think that some of the fundamentals for this movement are inherently isolating. The motion I am looking at directly is the concept of, hey, look within yourself. We don't need the external world. We're looking inside, looking for that energy, that knowledge that's all within us as the, divine spark that's waking up in a crazy world. Now, it's a general summary, but it seems to be the general movement of a lot of these, New Age, spiritualists, whatever you want to call the movement. Also terms that seem to segment. Why is there an external? Aren't we the illusion of separation, viewing itself objectively via other personified variations of the one consciousness? So, if we're rejecting the external the way we see it, we're accepting that we aren't one, as I said, consciousness objectively viewing itself over and over and over. I mean, again, to try to familiarise with the writings, the Law 1 writings, they're great. Need to do a bit more reading myself. There's a lot of text, a hell of a lot. Probably even more if you listen to the audio recordings, because it's like all slow motion. Anyway, let's not get into that. Self, other self. Not me and them. Self, other self. Not other self. So, how could we be possibly concerned about the influence of the external if that is a concept that actually has no meaning? When you start to view each and every contact you have with other people, other movements, other anything as the other self, a reflection of self, it's a chance for us to look into parts of ourself that we can't reach from our seemingly limited view of, the holographic universe having a peek at itself. Cider's good. This isn't an external force either. This is an elixir that is very much me and you experiencing itself in a different form, a liquid intoxicant. The white wall behind me is, a construct of my own consciousness, as is easily identifiable in our sleepy time dreams, where all of our world is constructed with, information we've collected merged with, other cosmic web stuff and concepts turned into metaphors for us to sort of understand the unexpressible. The whole idea of the individual and the separation of self is a way to understand ourselves, to understand the greater consciousness by separating into these metaphors that we can experience and talk to and converse, rather than the seemingly inexpressible concept of being the all everything singularity that is all and nothing. It's kind of really hard to discuss a whole lot of, deep concepts that we need to grasp. So I think that's kind of the point that consciousness exploded and shattered into the world that we are experiencing today. The illusion of the external, which is just ourselves viewing each other from a slightly different angle. I mean, surely like everyone you meet and every sort of incident that happens in your life, once you start noticing the patterns of, their interactions, that they are you talking to you, expressing yourself and understanding a bit more to understand the whole. So the greater point of this is moving past an isolating concept where people have to work on themselves and become more themselves and become their authentic selves, and it's shit bricks for a lot of people, because there's a whole lot of trauma function that's taken over, that we have to get past. I think we really do have to look at each other as the expression of becoming more authentic, of becoming more expressive, of becoming to recognize